I think this is one of the neatest looking half pans we've ever reviewed. Hi guys, my name is Alan. I'm an architect and an illustrator based here in the Philippines, and in today's video I'm going to be reviewing Lightwish's Artist Grade Watercolor set. This set of 24 half pans was sent to me by Lightwish for review. Currently, this set costs only $32.99 US, or roughly 1,900 Philippine pesos. A 48 color set is also available for $47.99 US, or 2,800 Philippine pesos. Lightwish is an art supplies company that provides affordable products from watercolors to acrylics to oils to papers to pastels and more. I'll be posting all the useful links at the description box. As you can see, this set is still sealed, and if you want to see the full unboxing video, I have a separate video for that, and I'm also linking it here. And I know a lot of you want to see, the unboxing parts or the parts such as this, so I saved it for you. So the box is lilac, it's beautiful, and it has these gold accents here, and in front we have here a logo that I'm seeing for the first time. It looks like a face of someone that's looking up, and it says here Artist Grade Watercolors, Lightwish, and it says here Fine Artists Watercolors, 24 colors. And at the back we have here the company information. So we have here, it says China, and also we have two other information here. We have again United Kingdom and Germany, similar to the information provided at the Lightwish 128 colors box set. And here we have a warning, and it says here it's ages for 14 and above. It says here made in China. The box feels heavy and sturdy. Oh wow. So again, we have here the Paul Rubens signature cloth that I know is intended for, protecting the tin. I don't think this is intended for cleaning your palette or your brushes, because it looks so pristine, and you don't want to, mess it. So here is the cloth, and it reminds me of my Paul Rubens, cloth. This is the same with the cloth that we use for cleaning our spectacles. So yeah, I might use it also for that. But yeah, I think I'm keeping it here to protect my beautiful lilac tin, so it matches the box. And this is standard tin, except for the color. And again, the logo is here, and yeah, it's thick. So we have a ring here. So now let's open our container. And here are our pans. Oh, we have a brush. We have a quill brush. Yeah, it's pointed. So let's check it out quickly. Oh wow, and it's also violet, same family with lilac color. It says here Lightwish. Oh, this is a huge quill brush. So this is a surprise. This is a treat for me. And here is their swatch sheet. And here we have the number code, the color name, the vehicle, which is gum arabic, and we also have here the pigment code, the light fastness rating, and the transparency rating. So that is serving completeness when it comes to the information that I need about the pigments. And what else do we have here? Natural mineral color powders. Color powders originate from Europe. In addition to high color purity and a wide range of colors, Artist Grade Watercolors watercolor paints often require consideration of various painting styles and subject matter effects. So here is the complete text. You may read it if you need to. Okay, so they are promoting this as Artist Grade or Professional Grade Watercolors. So let's see if that is true. By the way, here are the pans. They are all covered still with the pan sheet. So here's one. Also in our pans we have the same information that we found in our swatches. So we have the transparency rating, light fastness rating, the pigment code, and the vehicle material that's used. And in front we have the brand name and the color name. So if I peel this off, I would like to keep this part here so that we maintain the information in our half pan. So let's remove one. Oh, it's so easy. And it's not really sticking there, so you just want to save this, and you might as well want to write the information in your half pan so that it won't get lost or you won't replace it mistakenly with other colors. So for this one, let's do it. So make sure you use a permanent marker. So this is Indian Yellow. Let's write here Indian Yellow. Indian Y, and I'd like to write the pigment code PY83. So I'm gonna be doing this for the rest of the paints. By the way, the paints are not poured, so it's extruded. So now let's remove the covers for the rest of the pans. So now we're done uncovering our half pans, and I've already also rearranged them according to my preference. Now let's take a closer look at a half pan of Lightwish Artist Grade. I've noticed that the size is very similar to typical half pans, but I've noticed that the walls are thicker. So let's compare it side by side with the half pan from Prima Marketing. So as you can see, the walls of the Lightwish Artist Grade is a lot thicker, so this is sturdier half pan, but that may also mean that it can contain lesser amount of paint. But if you compare it with the half pans of Schmincke, it is a lot smaller. As you can see, there's at least 1 millimeter difference. So yeah. But the paints from Schmincke are hand poured, while the paints from Lightwish Artist Grade are extruded. So we have gaps here, but they're full. If you look closely on our pans, they look so neat. I think this is one of the neatest looking half pans we've ever reviewed. And so now for our swatches and sample painting, I'm using, as always, Artist 185 cold pressed cotton paper. And for my flat brush, I have here my Holbein mini resable brush. And of course, for my round brush, I have here my ever dependable Fumui brush. So let's begin. And also please note that I am not pre-activating the paints, to be fair with the other paints that we have reviewed before. First color is Permanent Lemon Yellow using PY3, which is Hansa Yellow Light. It's rated very good when it comes to light fastness, and as of now it's semi-transparent, but let's wait and see once the colors are dry if they remain like this, semi-transparent. If they become more transparent, let's see. Next we have here Cadmium Yellow Medium using PY35, and PY35 is genuine cadmium pigment. It's also included in top 40 of handprint best pigments, and it's excellent when it comes to light fastness. And obviously this is the mid yellow, but it can also be a bit warm in my opinion. Next color is Indian Yellow using PY83. PY83 is the Yari Light Yellow, and according to handprint, it's excellent when it comes to light fastness, but some independent tests show that it fades, so please do check it out if you're concerned to light fastness. Well, obviously this is the warm yellow of this set, and it can also be considered a yellow-orange for me. Next, we have Cadmium Red using PR108, and for me this is a mid red. And by the way, PR108 is genuine cadmium red color, and yeah, also in top 40, and it looks mid, but it can also fall into warm red, especially if you compare to the other colors that we are gonna be seeing next. So Next color is Madder Red using PR177. PR177 is anthracenoid red. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Yes, it's fair when it comes to light fastness, and it's a bit inconsistent when it comes to light fastness, so please be careful when using this pigment. But looking at the shade, it looks so beautiful. It can function as the mid-red of this set, or more like an alizarin crimson. But surely this is a better option than using the original alizarin crimson pigment PR83, which is very fugitive. So PR177 is not excellent, but it is at least fair when it comes to light fastness. Next is Scarlet using PR123. PR123 is Perylene Scarlet, and it's a bit confusing because it's scarlet. We all know that scarlet is more of a mid to warm red, but this one shows a cool red, like a quinacridone red. But yeah, in this set it functions as the cool red, and it's very good when it comes to light fastness. Oh wow, their violet using PV19 looks like a quinacridone violet, the standard one. But yeah, PV19 is quinacridone violet. But this hue is so strong, like a deep pink. It looks like a fusion of PR122 and PV19 quinacridone violet. Yeah, and this pigment is also very reliable and strong, and it's included in top 40 of handprint, and it's excellent when it comes to light fastness. Next color is Permanent Violet using PV23, dioxazine violet. The hue is very standard, and it's, yeah, as usual, very deep and transparent. Next color is Indigo using 3 pigments. We have here PV19, PBK6, and PB15. And it doesn't actually look like indigo. It's a beautiful color, don't get me wrong, but it looks like a very deep turquoise. Yeah, a deep phthalo turquoise. I like the color, but I'm confused with the color name. Probably it's very blue because there's a bigger proportion of PB15 in it. Next color is France Ultramarine using PB29. This is probably their version of French Ultramarine, and I'm expecting it to be granulating, but it's not very granulating. I can see hints of granulation, but not as granulating as compared to most brands that we have reviewed in the past. Anyway, it's a beautiful blue and a standard hue as well. Next is Cobalt Blue using PB28, and PB28 is the genuine cobalt blue pigment, and it's also included in top 40 pigments of handprint, as well as the PB29 Ultramarine, and both are excellent when it comes to light fastness. Next, we have here Sea Blue PB15:3. This is phthalo blue, and I think the hue is very standard, but this one is a little bright. Yeah, and it's also included in top 40 and excellent when it comes to light fastness. Now, first in this row, we have Prussian Blue using PB27. It's iron blue, or the real Prussian blue pigment, and it's also included in top 40 despite the fact that this pigment is not consistent when it comes to light fastness. But I must say the hue is very standard, and yeah, it's a very useful blue. Next, we have Emerald Green Deep using PG7, or Phthalo Green Blue shade. It's also included in top 40 pigments, and it's excellent when it comes to light fastness. This color is very strong, and as of now, I'm seeing some texture. I'm not sure if it's granulation or flocculation. Let's see later. Now we have here Hooker's Green Brilliant, or should it be Brilliant? Hooker's Green Brilliant is using PG17, which we all know is chromium oxide, and it's also included in top 40, excellent when it comes to light fastness. But what's interesting about this color is usually this is opaque or semi-opaque. I was expecting this to be opaque actually, but this one's more on the transparent side, and I'm happy about that. And also, it's not very pastel-y as compared to the common chromium oxide hue. Next, we have here Tree Green using 4 pigments. We are all familiar with these 3 pigments except for PY12. PY12 is benzidine something yellow. Yeah, this is new to me. I think it's fair, or at least good when it comes to light fastness, and the other colors are good. And the hue, I think, is like a brighter version of sap green. That's why I think it's called Tree Green. Next, we have here yellow green using two pigments, PG36 the yellow green yellow shade and PY74 Iridite yellow. And PG36 is one of the top 40 pigments, and it's very good when it comes to light fastness, or excellent actually. And PY74, which is excellent to fair, I think. It's not very consistent, but yeah, you know me, I'm not a fan of this color, but I'm sure this is gonna be useful to spring paintings and also to botanical painters. Last color in this row, we have yellow ochre using PY42, which is synthetic yellow iron oxide. It's also included in top 40 pigments, and it's excellent when it comes to light fastness. And of course, as you can see, it's semi-transparent. Now, first color in this row is umber. It's a mixture of two pigments, PR101 and PBR7. So that's synthetic red iron oxide and natural iron oxide. Both are excellent when it comes to light fastness. I like this hue, but I'm not sure if it should be called umber because it looks like burnt sienna to me. Next, we have here Pozzoli red ochre. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. It's using PR101. It's a reddish earth color, and PR101 is synthetic red iron oxide, and it's also in top 40 pigments. It's excellent when it comes to light fastness. Our next color is burned sienna. Yes, it's named as burned sienna. I think it should be burnt sienna, but anyway, it's using PBR7, and PBR7 is natural iron oxide, top 40 pigment, and also excellent when it comes to light fastness. There's a weird texture to this color. I'm not sure if it's just the top layer of the paint, but it feels kinda streaky. But anyway, next color is burned umber. Yes, we have here again burned. I think this should be burnt umber, and it's using PBR7, also natural iron oxide, the top 40 pigment, and excellent when it comes to light fastness. But for burnt umber, I think this is a bit too dark. It looks like a sepia to me, but yeah, I figured out that this looks like sepia, and the burnt sienna looks like burnt umber, and the umber looks like burnt sienna. But anyway, next color is ivory black, and it's using PBK9, which is a top 40 pigment as well, and excellent when it comes to light fastness. This is a warm black, and I think the hue is standard to its pigment. And our last color is Payne's Gray using three pigments. We have here PB15, PB29, and PBK9. I think this is a standard hue for Payne's Gray. I love this color, and as of now, I'm seeing hints of granulation, but it's not so strong. So let's wait till it's dry if it maintains the visible granulation. So now, as we wait for our swatches to dry, let's now proceed to our sample painting. And by the way, I'll be uploading this in clips to cut the video short. So if you have any questions, please just drop them at the comment section. So let's begin. And now we're done with our sample painting, and let's have now a closer look. Before we review our colors, let's first try out the brush that comes with this set, this quill brush. And for our paper, allow me to use one of the sheets from our Lightwish 128 color set. I think this is a very high quality paper if it's not cotton. So now, as you can see, our brush is already clean, ready for use. I've already rinsed it, and we're gonna use, which color? Permanent violet, maybe. And let's test our brush. And as you can see, it's a huge brush, but since it has a good point, you can easily use it in our half pans. And I think we're loaded with enough paints. Let's try to make a fine line. Oh wow, as you can see, we're able to do that with this. Let's try to make a bigger one, and from this to a bigger one. Nice, it's so clean. So let's do some other strokes. And as you can see, it's able to, get a lot of water, a lot of colors with that. And as you can see, we're getting more paints. And let's try to make a gradation. And it's so smooth, as you can see. It's just so clean. And we still have space, enough space here. Let's try to paint flower. So yeah, I think this can serve as a versatile brush. Let's try to write using this. So write my name. Forgive my calligraphy, I'm not good at calligraphy, but I think you see the point that we're able to use this and maximize its sharp point and its carrying capacity of water. So yep, I'm happy with this. This is a great addition, I must say, in this set. And so now for our proper review of the Lightwish Artist Grade watercolor paints, let's begin with the color selection. So as you can see, we have here 4 yellows. I'm including the yellow ochre. We have 4 reds. We also have I can say 4 blues, I'm not counting indigo, 4 greens, 4 earth colors, 2 blacks or 3 blacks and grays. And yeah, we don't have white here, which is a plus for the purists. And overall, I must say that this is a good color selection, but because you know me, I'm not a fan of this hue, this yellow green. I think I'd be happier to say have a quinacridone gold, but yeah, I can stand this color selection. I'm happy with it. Also, I'm glad to say that 15 of these colors are single pigments that are included at the top 40 pigments of handpicked.com, so that's 60%. But one of the best things about this set is that 19 out of the 24 colors are single pigment, so that's 80%. Now, when it comes to pigment load and saturation of the colors, I think they're very saturated. They're very high in pigment load. Now, when it comes to texture, I must say that they do have texture, but I think they're leaning more on the smoother side. The France Ultramarine, I was expecting it to be very granulating, but it's not. The granulation even became less evident when the swatches dried. I am seeing flocculation in some of the colors, particularly the Madder Red PR177 and Prussian Blue PB27, and I guess it's also evident in some of the earth colors. That's something that you can note if you are not into textures or granulation, but I'm okay with the situation of these paints when it comes to the texture category. Now, when it comes to flow, they don't really flow that much. They stay on paper, and that makes them more appropriate for artists who want to control their paints. And I'm happy about that. I'm okay with that. What I'm more happy about these paints is their mixability. They mix really well. They spread really evenly on paper. And so I had a good time using them in my sample painting. Now for transparency, as you can see, some of them are semi-opaque or semi-transparent, and those colors are as expected: Permanent Lemon Yellow PY3, Yellow Ochre, Yellow Green, also Cobalt Blue, and also Indian Yellow and Cadmium Yellow Medium, and also I think, what else? Burned Sienna. I was expecting PG17 Hooker's Green Brillite to be opaque, but it's not. And also, Hooker's Green Brillite PG17 is one of my favorite colors in this set, because I think for PG17 this is quite not usual. It's more on the transparent side. And also another favorite of mine here is their Violet PV19. That is like a mix of Quinacridone Violet and PR122. It's a bright, or I mean, it's a deep pink. Now when it comes to light fastness, I think most of them are very good to excellent when it comes to light fastness. There are two colors that you must watch out in this set. They are the PY83 Indian Yellow and the PR177 Madder Red. They're not really fugitive, but they can be inconsistent. So if you want to use this professionally or for paintings to be displayed or to be sold, you may do your own light fastness test, or you may use the other colors. And you can mix these colors using the other colors, because we have a range of primaries here. We have split primaries actually, so you can mix almost every color that you can think of. Now to check how well the paints adhere on paper, I have here a sheet of napkin, and if you see traces of pigments or colors in a napkin, that could be a sign that these paints are not adhering well on paper, and also may be a sign of chalkiness. So our paper is clean, so I think these paints are adhering well on paper, and I don't think they're chalky. Our water, although it had already become dark, I think it's transparent and clear even up to the bottom. And now for the comparison portion, let's begin with a set of paints that are, I think, less performing as compared to the Lightwish Artist Grade Watercolors. And of course, these are our student grade paints. So let's begin with the Simbalayon Watercolors. We have the Dong A Creative, the Jovi Aquarella. We also have the Sterling Arts Watercolors, the Faber-Castell Solid Watercolors, the Sakura Koi Pocket Filled Sketchbox, the Reeves Watercolors, the Magiwap Basics, the Pentel Watercolors Fine, the Berkeley Watercolors. We also have the Art Ranger Watercolors, the Mart 2 Seasons, the Maris Watercolors, the Faber-Castell in Tubes, the Lightwish 128 Colors Watercolor Set, the set that we have reviewed before this one, the sister of the Artist Grade, the Maris Watercolors in Pans, the Giorgione Watercolor Cakes, the Pebeo Studio Watercolors, the Lefranc and Bourgeois Louvre Watercolors, the Prang Watercolors, the Renaissance Watercolors, the Pelican Transparent Watercolors, the Koh-i-Noor Anilinki Brilliant, the Owen Watercolor Cakes, the Metal Case, the Sakura Matte Watercolors, the Sakura Koi Watercolor Tubes. We also have the Simi Art Solid Watercolors 50s, the Miyahimi Solid Watercolors, the Pretty Excellent Watercolors, the Superior Affordable, the Superior Fan Palette, the Simi Arts Arch Watercolors, the Medici Nano Watercolors, the Superior Watercolors, the Miliang Watercolors 52 color set, the Winsor & Newton China, the Grumbacher Academy, the Brewster Artists Watercolors, the Simi Art Semi-Dry Watercolors, the Kuretake Gansei Tambi, the Kiaomei Watercolors, the Solid Watercolors, the Winsor & Newton Cutman, and the Van Gogh Watercolor Paints. Now let's go to the Artist Grade paints that are less performing as compared to the Lightwish Artist Grade. Let's begin with the Espagnoleto Aquarella. I think it's obvious. And we also have the Lucas Aquarel. Lightwish is better when it comes to pigment selection and color intensity. Now we have the Kokuyo Camlin watercolors. Both are great visually, but the pigment selection of Lightwish is better. The pigments of Kokuyo are already released on their website, by the way. We also have the Gutsai Chinese painting pigments. Both are strong colors, but Gutsai are like gouache almost. And next we have the Mungyo professional watercolors and Prima Marketing Tropicals. All are good looking paints, but the pigment selection is far better in Lightwish Artist Grade. Now let's go to the set of paints that are, I think, very much comparable, almost the same level with the Lightwish Artist Grade watercolors. We have first the Maris sets, the Maris Masters from Lightwish. I think if I need to choose, I might still choose Lightwish Artist Grade for the fact that the set comes with a brush, and yeah, it has more single pigment colors. Next we have the Viburnum Art Professional Watercolors. The set also comes with a brush, but both colors are good. I feel that the Viburnum Art colors are cleaner, but I prefer a bit the color selection of Lightwish, so I think this is a draw. Now we have the Paul Rubens 4th generation, the Paul Rubens Classic in pans, and the 5th generation. They're very comparable, but this is hard. I think the 5th gen is a bit cleaner, but it's almost not noticeable. They're very much comparable. Now we also have the Paul Rubens Floral set, same. But yeah, some colors are really notably striking, like the Peach Light, which is, although not light fast, but very helpful for floral set. So this is a specialty set. The pigment selection is also good, except for this, but this is important visually. So yeah, it can be a draw. It's hard to decide. These are all affordable and good paints. Now lastly, we have the Wichitrong watercolors by Silpacorn. I know visually Lightwish looks better, but yeah, Wichitrong is really promising. These paints are from Thailand, by the way, and I love Burnt Sienna and Ultramarine of Wichitrong. They're really outstanding. But yeah, the other colors are, I think, better in Lightwish. So yeah, I can also count this as a draw. But if you want, a bigger selection of paints, of artist grade paints, and you can buy single pigments, you can choose Wichitrong. But I'm telling you, it's not easy to find. They're only available as of the moment in Thailand. Now let's go to the set of paints that are, I think, better than Lightwish Artist Grade watercolors. The difference to some of these paints is not really high, but I think they're a step at least higher. So let's go with Isaro Extra Fine watercolors, the Utrecht Artist watercolors, the Rembrandt Luxury Pocket Box. Then we have the A. Gallo Honey watercolors, the White Knights in pans. Then we also have the White Knights in tubes, the Blocks Extra Fine watercolors. I also have here Holbein watercolors, the Winsor Newton Professional, the Core watercolors, the Mijello watercolors, Schmink Horadam, and of course Daniel Smith watercolor paints. So now, if you are going to ask me would I recommend the Lightwish Artist Grade watercolors, my answer is a definite yes. Who will not like this set? First, it comes with a very sturdy and attractive, thin container. It comes clean, and it comes with a beautiful and useful quill brush. Why won't you like that? And the paints are really good. They're very potent. Pigment selection in general is good. Colors mix really well, and the colors have character in them. If you are to use this as a hobbyist, or if you're gonna use this in your sketch pad, this is actually more than enough. These are affordable, professional grade paints with good pigment selection, I must say. If you are an artist who would like to use this for paintings to be sold or for paintings to be displayed, I think you can confidently use this, but please do take note of two colors in this set, the Indian Yellow PY83 and the Madder Red PR177. These two colors are not fugitive, but they can be inconsistent. Some modern or some later tests have shown that they have tendency to fade, so please take note of these two colors. And anyway, it's not the end of the world if you are to skip this in professional use, because you have other colors here that you can mix to achieve these hues. Aside from the beautiful paints, yeah, I'm really happy with the brush that this set came with. And as you can see, I was able to quickly test it out, and here was our output. And yeah, it worked really well, although this can be, a tricky brush to some, because it's bigger than the usual size 6 or size 8 brush. But yeah, this is not a cheap brush if you will buy this separately, so this is a good bonus and could be a reason for getting this set also. Overall, I'm really happy and satisfied with the paints, and I also enjoyed using it for our sample painting. So I guess that's all for the Lightwish Artist Grade watercolor paints. To Lightwish, thank you so much for sending these paints for us to review and to test. I really enjoyed using them. For those who are interested, the links are at the description box. Again, this has been Alan thanking you for watching this video and for reaching this far. If you are new to my channel, please don't forget to like and share this video, and please don't forget to subscribe. So thank you again, and see you on the next video. Bye bye.